guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching The Mandalorian. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 3 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. We got a mythosaur. Okay, so I was a little torn. The whole, I have to bathe in the living waters and, I have to keep my helmet on. I don't want that for Mando. I don't want that for Din. I would love for him to be able to take his helmet off and interact with the other Mandalorians without his helmet on, and Grogu, and let's face it, we all want to stare at the god that is Pedro. But I do like that he kind of has this belief and that he feels very strongly in it and that it's true. And kind of listening to Bo-Katan and her saying the ceremony is being the princess and all that, it was just kind of of course I know what the living waters are, almost like mocking it or making fun of it. And here's the thing, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but the fact that she was almost mocking it and then saw a mythosaur, I think there's going to be some doubt. I think she is going to be like, wow, maybe some part of this is true. Maybe some part of this is real. And if it can convince me in this moment that a piece of it is real, then I can convince the other Mandos that all of the Mandalorians, wherever, if they're being mercenaries, if they're in different sects, if they're in different groups, if they're in different, I don't know what they're called, clans, if they're all separated, maybe she can bring them together. We also got to see her wield the Darksaber, which was a really cool moment for a lot of us that watched Clone Wars. I don't know where that takes her next, because she didn't technically win it in battle. I know there were people that were trying to make that happen. It's just the robot beat Din, and then she beat the robot, so technically it's hers. And I was like, I don't think it's like the Elder Wand. I don't think that's how that works. I think it has to be one-on-one combat, and she has to best him. If that is, that's kind of a crappy loophole for a warrior, such as herself. She's born for battle. She's born to fight, and for her to win it that way off of a technicality, I don't really see that being something that she wants to accept. And if she does, she's not who I thought she was, and that sucks. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out and progresses, and especially for one, Mando. I don't know if he saw the mythosaur. I don't know if he was unconscious at the bottom of the lake, living waters, river, pool. I don't know what that is. But if he saw it, that'd be amazing. If not, then, Bo-Katan had her little experience, and she gets to take that with her to motivate her to, further free, save, rebuild, and create and rule Mandalore. That's a lot of work. It really is a woman's job, isn't it? We got to see Grogu progress. Now, granted, he didn't fly. I keep wanting to call him Mando. I need to get used to calling him Din because they're all Mandos. But he didn't fly Din's ship necessarily by himself. He had the droid. But he was definitely paying attention when Din was telling him the coordinates, okay, this is where Bo-Katan is. This is where I'm from. This is where we are. We can't communicate because of this electromagnetic field, And I think Grogu, as much as you sometimes think things don't sink in, he actually is learning from Din, and I think that that is such a father-son moment that the payoff was awesome, and he saved his life. I'm excited to see him do more instead of just kind of being, the cuteness overload every episode. Continue to do that, please. We need the cuteness overload, but then actually, being important to not only the story, but he is becoming a greater character than just the little cutie pie we get to witness every week. And I don't think he said Peli's name. A lot of people are no, he said Peli's name. Maybe. I don't think so. I would love for his first word to be father. I don't know. It's just may the force be with you. He says the whole sentence. I don't know, but I think it's really cute. But I think that we're definitely being fed little bits and pieces here to eventually he's going to say his first word. And I can't wait for that. I know Favreau probably had it written down on a piece of paper and put in a safe and locked it and closed it, and it was just no one knows. It's kind of the Darth Vader Luke Skywalker reveal of I am your father. No one knew except for a couple people. Looking forward to that. Now, obviously, we have to catch up with the rest of the Mandos. They've all dispersed and they are all over the galaxy. But how Bo-Katan brings them together, I think is going to be like the bulk of this season. Looking forward to it. We still need to find out about IG-11, the parts. If he is fixable, do we need him? Would he even fit in the ship? Like, where was he going to sit? I don't know. I really like that we got our 4 or 5. I don't even remember if he's a 4 or 5, but he was helpful. Are we going to remain on Mandalore? Where are we going next? Because we do not have our regular ship. We definitely have to go back to the palace. We have to pick, I don't know if we even have a name for Din's ship. We needed we need a name. Like, there's so many like important ships, and it makes me think that it's not important until it's named. It needs to be named. I got the old Rossi behind me. It needs to be named. But guys, I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm super excited to get into this episode. I'm excited for more Bo-Katan, more Mandalorian lore, Anyway, let's get into it. Punch drunk this morning. What time is it? Midnight. Yep.
No! This is Dr. Pershing.
The recaps really do kind of tell you what's in store. Dr. Pershing, apparently. I'm not mad at it, but like, please don't ruin anything else. I really wish her helmet wasn't on so we could see her face. It was probably like this. That's what my face made. It was exciting. Right where we left off. I love it. Yeah, girl, contemplating a lot there.
I am redeemed.
I witnessed it.
Aww.
You bathed in the living waters. You are Mandalorian again. Can we leave now?
That's it for her? She's not going to explain what she saw?
You see anything down there?
I saw the chasm passing me as I fell. I didn't realize it was so deep.
It wasn't. The bombings from the Purge must have triggered seismic activities.
And released a mythosaur.
Did you see anything alive?
Alive? Like what?
She wants to make sure she's not crazy. Oh, her ship is so cool!
I would invite you in for a feast, but I'm guessing that helmet isn't coming off again.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. Oh!
Something's coming up on us fast. It looks like a squadron of TIE interceptors.
I was like, space pirates!
Our shields aren't gonna hold. I need you to back them off.
I like that they're working together like this. It's nice to see them in a space battle.
Where'd they come from?
I've scuttled off a lot of Imperial warlords.
You tend to get mad when you hijack their ships.
Now you tell me.
But where did the TIE fighters come from? Because normally there's a bigger ship.
Get ready, we're coming in hot. I won't be able to slow down for the drop.
Interceptors are a lot tougher than TIE fighters.
Are you still up for the transfer?
Oh, interceptors, not TIE fighters. Thanks, Din. So cool! Oh, God. Ugh. Okay, I guess we're just gonna call it the N1 coolest ship ever. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Made it to the N1. Heading to you.
I love this. I love this so much.
Don't worry. I grew up flying these cliffs. Of course, it's been a while.
R5 needs reassurance. Don't tell him that. Nice. Whoa. Whoa. That was a hell of a move.
Not bad for an antique.
I'll say. Oh. Oh.
No.
Oh no.
Those mudscuffers bombed my home.
Go get him. There's more shit.
Bo, we've got company.
Oh,
That's a lot of ships for an Imperial warlord.
I'm sending jump coordinates.
To where?
Someplace they won't find us.
Tatooine? Where? Where are they going? A convert. Alright. I love when we get to go to Coruscant. I love it so much. Look at the grand music that goes with it.
I believe the pursuit of knowledge is the most noble thing someone can do. My research was twisted into something cruel and inhumane at the behest of a desperate individual. I now hope to help the New Republic in whatever way I can. What my work explored was the hopes of combining multiple strands to create replicas that incorporated the best genetic attributes of both donors.
Alright, we're back on to cloning.
Empire, Rebels, New Republic, I can't keep track. That's why I should just keep my mouth shut.
Yup.
We try not to get involved.
Well, I think you deserve the very best, Doctor. After everything you've been through, you're just so brave.
I'm such an inspiration.
So much schmooze, so greasy in here. But we know what happens with his cloning technology. The Emperor.
I see you're going to Amnesty Housing. Congratulations on making it into the program.
Turn your head back around, weirdo.
Amnesty Officer M34.
Do you have a name?
Amnesty Scientist, L52.
You're new.
They don't have names?
This is G27, M40, G68. Everything all right?
I didn't expect to see anyone from Moff Gideon's ship here.
Didn't know you worked for him.
I heard he escaped en route to the War Tribunal.
No, that was just the cover story. I heard they hooked him up to a mind flayer.
Mind flayer.
Thanks to the rehabilitation program, I can contribute to the New Republic. Just like you. Have you taken in the sights on Coruscant, Doctor?
No, I haven't had the time.
I'd be happy to show you around when you do.
I don't trust her.
I do miss the lights of hyperspace.
What do you miss, L52?
Maybe those yellow travel biscuits from the ration packs.
Oh, that brings back memories.
I like the red ones.
Oh.
You're crazy.
All right,
I'll drink to
If I
that.
want something dry, I'll just listen to your jokes. Drink.
Interesting. You never think about the people and like the everyday life for somebody in the Empire.
It's not precisely located at our...
One moment.
Uh-oh. Aww.
Travel biscuits.
I don't know. I still don't trust her. I still think that she's manipulating. Oh my gosh. Work cubicles. Got a taste of that from Andor.
Oh, I saw your talk last night. Really interesting stuff. God, I had no idea you're so experienced. Wonder why they have you down here.
I'm happy to do whatever's asked of me.
I wonder what he is doing. I have no idea what's happening right now.
So many people. It's all a bit overwhelming.
It's like really weird how she looks like Jango Fett a little bit.
Trillion permanent residents.
Amazing. All these people working together to make something better.
We thought we were doing good.
I do think about that sometimes. All of my research going unfinished.
So why not continue your research here?
I don't think it's something the New Republic would be interested in. The ethics of cloning are complicated.
Following orders blindly is how we got in trouble in the first place. Sometimes you have to trust your gut. That is the peak of Umate, highest mountain on Coruscant. They say it's the only place on the entire surface where you can see the planet itself.
Oh, wow.
You want to touch it?
Are we allowed to?
Live a little, Doc. It's not the Empire.
Don't let there be a force field that zaps him.
Please refrain from physical contact.
So sorry. You knew that was gonna happen, didn't you?
I really want to trust her, but I don't know if I do. It's so great that we're getting a story with Pershing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd rather have Mando and Grogu, but like it's really interesting to see a lot of this.
If I were to pursue my own research, would that be allowed?
Your previous research involved cloning and genetic engineering. That class of research is expressly prohibited by the Coruscant Accords.
So he's gonna do it illegally. I don't know why I use the quotes for illegal, because it's illegal. Don't mind me. It's late.
You want to help the New Republic. They just can't see it yet. We can get you a mobile lab station. But it would require going outside our designated perimeter.
I can't do that. If they found out, we'd both be sent back to the Reintegration Institute.
Just sleep on it, okay?
She's still working for Moff Gideon.
Have you experienced any feelings of anger or resentment towards the New Republic government or its representatives? Apologies if you didn't hear me. Have you experienced any feelings of anger or resentment?
No.
Thank you for continuing to be...
Our main objective is to help the Republic.
Correct.
And that supersedes everything else?
It does.
Loophole. I wonder what happened to his ear and why he keeps pulling on it. Gonna get that backstory, hopefully.
Relax. Just follow my lead. Keep it together, Doc.
You're better at this than I am.
Mm-hmm. I see she's done this before. Interesting. Oh, hi.
We slip in, grab what you need, and we're back at Amnesty Housing before you know it.
Have you done this before?
Yep.
Where do you think I got the biscuits?
It's really interesting to see all these parts of Coruscant that you normally don't get to see.
Go ahead. I'm right behind you. You can do it.
It's the most adventure he's ever had.
Tongs days. Am I right?
He's so natural.
We're gonna jump!
What?
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you.
Now!
I was lucky something softer was there. Excitement and adventure, eh? He's definitely had a pretty boring life. Whoa. Actually kind of creepy, isn't it? It's like a dead ship.
Elia Kane.
Elia.
Communications officer.
Dr. Penn Pershing, scientist.
Is everything you need here?
This is perfect.
It's like it was set up for him.
What about you? What did you want to be when you grew up?
I didn't really have a chance to think about it.
I really like that she stepped into shadow before she said that.
What was that?
Just the ship settling. Keep packing. I'll keep watch just in case.
Mm-hmm. Settling my ass.
Amnesty Scientist, L-52, raise your hands. You are under arrest.
Yep.
Good morning, Doctor.
Listen, I can explain. I wasn't trying to...
No need. Amnesty Officer G68 has already submitted a report.
What?
Indoctrination by the Empire is challenging to overcome.
Wait, this is a mind flayer.
This is a 602 mitigator. It's a non-invasive experimental treatment recently approved for rehabilitation.
No, it's a mind flayer.
It's a similar device, but we found at low voltages it can be used to help soothe select traumatic memories.
This is horrible.
Please just let me explain. I was just trying to help.
Oh my god.
You don't understand. She brought me there. It was a trap.
Sing it to that guy. I knew she was manipulating him the whole time, but I didn't really know for why. I don't know what was in that case.
You are a real credit to this program. It's nice to know that for every failure, there's a success, like you. Shall we?
Do you mind if I stay?
You want to watch?
He relapsed, but he's a friend. I still care about him.
Of course you do. Yes, you're welcome to stay.
This is so messed up. She's gonna crank it. What the hell? It's messed up. After that darkness, just show me Grogu, just so I can get a dose of, like, happiness.
I'm bringing you to a Mandalorian covert. This is how we have survived in exile. It will go smoother if you keep your helmet on. Trust me.
Take it off.
Of course.
I have been to the mines of Mandalore.
Impossible. The mines were collapsed in the Purge.
These are lies, meant to keep us in exile.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know that it is not you who is lying?
He speaks the truth. I was witness.
And who are you, Night Owl?
Don't take your helmet off, but take your helmet off.
We have been to the living waters. I bring proof.
How do they know it's from there, though?
We shall see.
Is there a way to prove it? I love all the Mandos. I love it. I love all their helmets and the colors, different armor. It's fantastic.
Din Djarin claims to have bathed in the living waters.
Is this true?
It is. I have proof.
So curious.
I was witness. He fell into the depths and I pulled him out.
Oh.
He speaks the truth.
It is magical.
These are indeed the living waters. Din Djarin, you are redeemed.
Yay.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I want to see Pedro.
And Bo-Katan Kryze, by creed, you too are redeemed. But I do not walk the way. Did you bathe in the waters? I did. And have you removed your helmet since? No, I have not. Then you may join our covert and live as your ancestors once did.
Interesting.
You are one of us.
Look at her back with the clan.
Bo-Katan of Clan Kryze. This is the way.
This is the way.
Oh, after she had everyone leave her, look at that. Okay, so right off the bat, not my favorite episode by any means, but what a great little look into the New Republic and how it's still very similar to the Empire, actually. They're very much denouncing the ways of the Empire while still employing some of the tactics I think the Empire would have employed, like flaying the Doctor's mind. I don't really know what the purpose of that was. Like maybe I'm not seeing something, but it seems like, either she's covering something that maybe he knows, or she's doing still some work for Moff Gideon. Obviously, she's still loyal to the Empire. But yeah, from the very beginning, I was like, yeah, I don't trust her at all. The manipulation with the cookies and the, kind of like feeling like you're one of us, you're a friend, you have people, we have a group. Definitely the Doctor probably felt very alone, but he also missed his research. And I don't know what he was doing, but I feel like when you have somebody that is so accustomed to being in one way of life and then you move them to another, and it doesn't have anything to do with what they were doing, and like it's not the way their mind is built, it's not the way that like their everyday routine was built. Like it's hard for them to downshift. And I think a lot of times about like the clone troopers or even veterans in the real world, how like they go from one area of life that they're very accustomed to, and then they have to reintegrate into a different way of life, and there's a lot of hitches in that. I feel like his mind is a terrible thing to waste, but maybe it's a good idea that the knowledge that he has is sort of lost. We know that it's not, obviously, because Palpatine is able to clone himself in the future, and then that I don't really understand why she set him up, and why she was ultimately okay with what happened. I obviously she's got to still be working for Moff Gideon. And I thought it was like really weird, and I don't know if this was on purpose or if it's just by accident, but like how much she looked like Jango Fett, and like how much she looked like a young Tamora Morrison. And I was like, is she a clone? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or if I was just seeing it, but I'm going to throw it out there. If it sticks, if it becomes something great. If not, whatever. I tried. But I do like that we got to see a lot more of Coruscant, just like everyday life, everyday travel. But I thought it was really weird. The other interesting thing that I was kind of like thinking about was that they gave them all numbers or like codes. And we find out that her name is Elia, something like that. But they were going by, G68, and it kind of reminds me again of like the clone troopers, how they had their number designation, and then they created names for themselves to become individuals. It's really weird that the New Republic would give them those codes instead of like real names, because it still feels like this tyrannical rule a little bit. I mean, it seemed like they had a little bit more freedom and that they were at least being treated well. But there's still kind of, I think, an old way of thinking with that. I don't know if that would make integration easier or harder. I feel like still being able to be yourself and go by your name would definitely have helped the Doctor. I think it would help anybody that's being reintegrated back into a different life. Now, obviously, we have to jump from that to Din and Bo-Katan. I don't love the whole you're redeemed religious kind of aspect of the story. But I do kind of also love maybe the fact that they have something to believe in, and that's what keeps them together. I do think that that's a cult, but the fact that she's been accepted, I don't know if she is then going to like lean into the cult, because she was left by all the people that were following her before, and they became mercenaries. So I don't know if like she starts there and then she's able to grow up bigger, but I want their helmets off. I want to see their faces. I want to look at Pedro Pascal and Katie Sackhoff. I was just like, how do they know that it's the living waters? I don't know how the machine works and how they prove it, whatever. That's believing in magic and myth and legend and whatnot. And you have to just kind of keep an open mind and just believe, I guess. But it seemed convincing, and they accepted him back, and they're both redeemed, which I think it's really easy for somebody who feels abandoned like Bo-Katan does, and like, she just lost her home. And I don't know about the attack that happened, where those ships came from, because most of the time those ships come from a bigger ship, and like why they attacked her and why they attacked her home. But she's essentially lost everything. So Din's really all she had. She'll follow him, to safety, and now she has this clan that has accepted her with open arms. I don't know. She doesn't seem like she's easily manipulated. And it's kind of interesting how we could kind of take it from two perspectives, that the Doctor is being manipulated and then Bo-Katan is being manipulated a little bit. And to me, it's just like you're redeemed, so there's an acceptance there, and it's really easy to get caught up in that. I hope that she still is kind of like her normal self, and, is always... is always kind of suspicious, or is always kind of skeptical about stuff like that. I don't think all of a sudden she's going to be leading this covert and is going to be heading the charge of their religion, but I do think that the acceptance is going to make her feel a little bit warmer to it, and maybe not put it down as much. I think between that and the mythosaur, like, you know, she could definitely have been changed by that, which is amazing. But like I said, I want to see their phases. So the whole thing about like we have to keep our helmets on is kind of annoying. It seemed like Grogu was going to say a couple things. Like now I'm convinced that he's going to say this is the way, which then 100% that is full send Mandalorian, not a Jedi. Bummer, but it is what it is. As long as he's happy, I'm happy. And it was really heavy going from like Coruscant back to them, and I was like, I just need to see his cuteness so I can just be like, okay, what a refreshing thing. And we're so used to this show in particular being like lighter and having like the space fights and like, you know, the dark saber battles and, you know, the droids and everything. And then when we're on Coruscant and we're getting like everyday life, it kind of felt like Andor to me, where it was a little, I don't want to say boring, but when you have the expectation of having something that's going to be energetic and it's not, it was kind of like, oh, where's this going? I do like that we got to see like the shipyard and like what they're doing with like the Imperial fleets, like what they're doing with all the Imperial, you know, data, that it's being archived. And, you know, I kind of agree a little bit with the Doctor. It's like you can take some of the good stuff and implement that, because not everything is 100% bad. There is a middle ground. You know, there's an evil that the Empire had, and then there's a good, I think, which would be like, you know, because like not everybody that was part of the Empire was bad. As a whole, it wasn't great, but like there's bits and pieces that are still good and useful, and it's kind of a shame that, you know, the New Republic either wants to scrub it. It seems like the New Republic wants to scrub the things that they could use, but kind of keep a little bit of the I don't want to say bad stuff, but like mind flaying, not good. Not having your own identity, not good. And then every time he was going back to talk to the droid about being reintegrated, it was always talking to a droid. It was never talking to a human being. And so it almost seems like they just like don't really care, but like they care just enough. It's a bummer. Okay, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon. Not an exciting episode, but it bookended really well with at least a little bit of our Mandos, because this is in fact called The Mandalorian. So let's keep it with the Mandos. But again, I don't mind learning about regular life in the New Republic and what that looks like, because we had such a time gap between Return of the Jedi and then now, and then, you know, we have to go all the way to The Force Awakens, and like we don't really know about that time in between, and like learning the New Republic, and is the Empire really gone, because we know that it's not really gone in the future. So I really liked getting that kind of aspect, a little chunk of it. It seemed like it took up a lot of the episode of like, look at this is Coruscant, and like, look, they're like, oh, Dr. Pershing, like, you're so amazing, and they were like really buttering him up and like thought that he was so amazing, and it just seemed very schmoozy and like high society life, and you kind of saw a little bit of that in Andor as well, you know, especially with Mon Mothma. So I do like that it feels like, you know, something carried over, and it's making it seem like the more things change, the more things do stay the same. But in the meantime, guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. What did you think of this episode? Because where it was slow, some could say boring, and I would say not my favorite. I don't think it really told us a whole lot about Din's journey up until the very end, that, you know what, he's redeemed. But I do think it informs us of where Bo-Katan's journey might be heading, and I'm interested to kind of see that and how she gets more of her Mandalorian clans to kind of join the cause. But now that that clan is aware that the mines on Mandalore are real and the living waters are real, and it still exists, and I don't know if it's livable, but it might be something that is rebuildable. That will be interesting. Okay, guys, come back here next week. Hopefully we get more of the story of what is in store for Bo-Katan, because now I feel like, to where it was Din's story, now it feels like it's more of like Bo-Katan's story, and I'm fine with that. I'd love to get more of her. She's a very complex person in all of Star Wars, especially in the Clone Wars era, and what she went through with Death Watch and the Night Owls and her sister and the Jedi, and it just is very, very extreme. So if we can kind of get like a, I don't want to say an end to her story, but kind of like something that's very personal for her, I think that would be great. Okay, guys, I'll see ya.